Hi, Tony.
Hey, Nathan, how are you doing?
I was wondering if you could say a little bit about yourself.
Well, let's see. First of all, start from the end part. I'm 88 years old, born in 34, so I've seen, not fortunately not into the Second World War, but from there on, I'm, kind of knowledgeable one way or the other of it. So, if you got some questions, I'll give it a shot.
Over the course of your lifetime, you've seen, I guess, what's the earliest technology you remember?
The earliest technology. I think as a very young kid, 3 or 4, we lived in a house where the owner had a driveway business, and my first big toys were trucks and trailers and lawn and road rollers and stuff like that. So, I've seen a lot of changes. Trolley cars were the travel thing and so forth. So, I've seen a lot of changes.
And so just doing the math, if you were born in
34.
34, then you would be 35 in 1969 when Neil and Buzz landed on the moon.
Yeah. Okay. Completely amazing, because I remember airplanes as being kind of bicycles on wheels and so forth, and seeing that, and to see how aeronautical and everything had changed. It's really been amazing when you think back at it.
And did you know that NASA's planning to go back to the moon?
No, I didn't. And again, I'm not, I'm kind of lost in the 50s and 60s, but it's nice to hear.
What do you think about it?
I think it's great, because anything with science is good. I often say that there's many bad things about war, but the only good thing is that technology advances in some of the civilian and medical and so forth type of operations. So there is that little glimmer.
You think there's a way to get that without war?
Oh yeah, if people would, how would you say it, ally themselves and not try to be boss over the other guy or something. Let's work towards a goal. We would have a beautiful world, I would say.
When you think about the future of humanity, like looking out 200 years from now,
Mm-hmm.
do you think we're all still on the Earth, or do you think we've actually have people living in other places in the solar system?
It wouldn't surprise me the way things are going. Finding a habitable planet would be the thing, because I don't want to live in 212 degree boiling water.
Or minus 100 degrees.
Or minus, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Good, no, go ahead.
I was going to ask if you would take a trip to space if you could.
I think I would. I've been told by a very good friend of mine, who is 79, that she still skydives, and I'm a little hesitant about that, but I think under control situation, I might give it a try.
My grandmother used to make fun of skydivers, saying, "Why would you jump out of a perfectly good plane?"
Right, yeah. That would be the last thing you'd think about doing.
If you could put yourself in the head of a high schooler 200 years from now, who's in my history class, looking back on the 2020s,
Okay.
what do you think would be worth remembering about this decade in 200 years?
Okay, I would think the basis would be change, because everything has advanced. I've seen from disc records, which were wind-up Victrolas, through the different changes in the records, the albums, and the way they were made and so forth, into now the CDs and so forth. And now it's just all available to you for communication without just pressing a button. So it's been a dynamic change. And of course, this doesn't affect the health or anything of people, but it makes life easier. And I think I look back and I think the way my folks had to work, and I remember starting with our house, my first house. Father burned wood, and then we went to coal, and then he decided the new dynamic was oil, and now that house has gas. So I don't know if it's going to be solar or whatever next.
Maybe some unheard of technology
Right,
at some
yeah.
point.
they have that what deep into the ground. I forget just what they
Oh,
call
like the
it.
geothermal.
Geothermal. Okay, sounds even better. So and then of course the roof. I call it. Help me.
Oh,
The solar panels.
oh, the solar panels, like
Yeah.
where you heat up the water on the roof
Right,
and
yeah.
circulate that.
And get electricity from
That too, yeah.
So so it's an amazing time, but unfortunately, the overcast of war and the way the planet is being mistreated is kind of always over your head, like the sword of Damocles,
Right.
that type of thing.
Maybe that's what pushed people to other planets. Like the nature is easier to deal with than the people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I might have to wear a spacesuit, but at least I'll be alive.
Exactly. At least, at least I understand the danger, and it's
Yeah.
just like makes sense to me.
Yeah, and we have a lot of, especially political things where we have so many foreign enemies, and to me, like the drugs and so forth is a domestic enemy, which is, really hurting us. But that's, I guess it's almost accepted now. But I really feel, if I could say something personally, that with drugs, I think the people who are using them maybe don't realize it, but they're being very un-American.
Right.
Because you're buying judges, you're buying officials and so forth, and you're hurting and killing innocent people.
Yeah.
And to me, that it's a personal thing. That's why I just can't, understand it. Again, I'm older. I wasn't brought into that drug community, but it is something that I wish people would think about.
I just can't imagine doing something that actually would make you less smart. Like that would.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like when in an age whenever being able to think on your feet and memory and all these things are
Exactly, yeah.
so important.
And to me, in addition to that, losing control.
Yes.
Okay, I want to know where I am and make my own decisions.
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate your time, Tony.
Okay, Nathan, it's been nice meeting you, and maybe the 3 or 4 people that watch this will enjoy it.
That high schooler 200 years from now.
Right? Yeah.
That's my target audience.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.